It's a strange life of a detective. But so far, this has been quite the experience to star as one in this strange, lonely, and low-life city. I'm trying to collect my wits, my abilities, my skills, even though I still have several tasks to complete, I am here to start mentoring about this one new killer. What were his intentions, or her intentions? And while I'm trying to find my way through this building, which seems to be one building, but separated in two, quite strangely, though it will make sense what it was called towers, I'm also trying to think and imagine what was the killer thinking before committing this crime, and why commit it? I head down to the correct side where I was supposed to go, 102 McKinney Towers. And I imagine the killer walking through these same steps, these hallways. The smell of the apartments meddling with them. When I arrive, I see an officer's already waiting at here. I'm a little bit, unsecure if I should just go in. I know my status as a detective has grown through the many cases I've been able to complete, and I'm puzzled. Have I gotten enough of a status with the police force that they know that they shouldn't arrest me if I trespass on this hotel, on this apartment, on this crime scene? I do my normal take into the evidence. I have to get everything from this place. Any clue, anything could lead me to the killer. Unfortunately, though, while I say anything, footprints might not do it as well. Police officer is looking at me. He's probably wondering, you're gonna wait or not? And as a detective, I shouldn't be losing that much time. There don't seem to be a lot of fingerprints. Type K. This could lead me to the killer. It could be. I mean, when it comes to fingerprints on door frames, anything could be. Many people touch the door frames, touched a door. That don't necessarily means they are using it, to go through the door, through the apartment. I try to stumble my way into the apartment in case the officer does say, hey, what are you doing that close? So I just kind of stumble into it. I mean, I'm still grabbing evidence. There's just one more step, and it's the one more step that I'm very much afraid of doing so. I mean, the police officer is still looking at me. He's either wondering, am I gonna have to arrest this person? Or are they taking so long? They should be destroying. They should be already looking into the murder. So, I need a name of the killer. Arrest the identified killer. If I have evidence of who did it, of if they did it, where they live, and the murder weapon. Oh, I immediately just go for it. And the officer didn't really care, so yes, my social status is upgraded with them. I find the victim lying in a pool of blood right in the middle of their apartment. Sadly, they probably didn't see it coming. Victims never do. They never see it coming. So from examining, it appears that the victim was violently shot to death with a rifle. It happened not long ago, actually. A couple of hours ago. The body was not even cold. I look around, try to find more evidence about them. Did the killer enter through force? Did they know each other? They didn't have what it takes. Cut to the chase. They must be worthy. Strange business card. Was this her job business card? Maybe. A red dice. Could this mean something? I could be just pulling at straws. What if there were multiple victims later on, like my previous Doberman villain? But it could be not. I take the fingerprints of the victim just to start finding differences between the killer's and hers. She was a type double B. And I had found multiple of those in the doorframe. Made sense. She lived here. What else could there be around? There should be a casing. If she was shot to death, should be able to find it around, laying somewhere. I look through, very thorough. In the kitchen, doesn't seem to be a lot of out of place. There's a gun. She probably... Wait a minute. If she had a gun, she didn't have it in her hand. So this was not a barged in, an attack. This was personal. She knew the person. She probably trusted them. She didn't have the feeling of, I need to protect myself. At least, I had a tiny bit of more information. There was a safe, and... What was this? Fingerprint BC. Was this a shell casing? Had the shooting started all the way over here? Did the victim realize once they started getting shot at to run for it at the apartment living room? It was possible. Alright. So now, at least, I had fingerprints from the killer. They were right on the casing. Now I just needed to find out where this person worked. As always, I look into the storage, the closet, but the preferred storage room for people in this city. Her name was Kingsley Spencer, female. We had the tenancy agreement for the apartment, so we knew where she lived. And both fingerprints of the killer and the casing were now connected to this one apartment. That's what we're starting to connect. And finally, I get to the employment contract. Mrs. Kingsley Spencer was working at Lovey and Associates. Was she a lawyer? Possibly. But now that I knew where to go, I had my next target place. Lovey and Associates. Maybe it was a co-worker, the killer. It wouldn't be strange. It has happened a lot in the past. This corporate suits. Wanting to get one more upgrade on their resume. Or more than a resume. Get a promotion. And if there's a person in the way of your promotion, best way to deal with it was to kill them. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case for poor Kingsley Spencer. Find the business card for a job place. Not a lot of information that is gonna change from what I already know. A note. Remember your passcode this time. Perfect. Now I could enter to both the safe and whatever computer she had on her disposal at work. All her drawers were empty. Below there didn't seem to be anything else, so I just had found one single casing. Now let's see. Let's get into this safe. What can we find? Ooh, sync discs. 2 of them. Well, I know it's illegal to take stuff from the crime scene, but at the same time, I'll take this as a sort of payment. Now I just need to head down to the doctor's office to implement this in my own body. Either way, I think I had enough information from this apartment. I didn't need anything else. I had the casing. I had fingerprints. All I needed to go and do was to find the workspace, the workplace of the victim and the killer. And find more truth. Who did it? After a short visit to the doctor and implementing the sync disc in me, I decided to just go straight to Lovey and Associates. It didn't seem to be that far away from my destination. Finally, I was looking into a different workplace from previously. I mean, I visited Nakamura Grange, which was the business district, but I have visited this place way too many times, way too many people. Victims and killers were just in this one single building. Goes to show how corporate really rottens the soul for some. And now, unfortunately, I was back in this meandering place, this filthy place of past memories, past adventures and crimes, looking for new answers. I get to the place, Lovio Socha seems to be alone. It is 4 a.m., so I probably had to do this quickly. There didn't seem to be no one on the other side either. I had one vent that I could use, so I wouldn't disrupt the main door, although I would probably need it, as the vents didn't look like they had an easy exit. But the vents were my friends. In this case, I did take one knock just to make sure there was no one, and proceeded to go like Spider-Man inside the building. This feeling of crawling through vents never gets old. It's cold, strange feelings. I look into one side, that one leads upwards, so it's definitely this way. Or no, maybe this way. Yes. This led me straight into the locker room of the employment. Case P. Spencer locker. Bingo. I was in the right place. A lot of people were working here. So it was time to dwindle the possibilities of who could be working. Or of, not who could be working, but who from the co-workers did it. I had fingerprints exactly of who the killer was. Type BC. This was my only clue, and the only clue I needed. If I could find a single VC, it was case closed. I knew the killer was living here, working here. Alright, let's see what's inside this couple of drawers. VD. No, I was looking for VC. Alright, let's see what's inside. Oh, BD. Alright. More drawers. Oh, employee details. With a fingerprint included? This was perfect. If the killer worked here, the job was done. So I go through every single employee record, and I'm just gonna keep track of these names. Closing a couple of files just to not clutter my work mind, and I go through every single one of them. PD, not the one. BG, not this one either. There we go. Willow Class. Or Clay's Class. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You were the killer. You had murdered your own co-worker. So it was corporate mess. She probably wanted a better job. She was a receptionist. She wanted an insight into it. A better salary. A better pay. A better position. And what better than to take the life of one of her co-workers? She probably liked the idea of working more deeper into the company. Unfortunately for her, probably Kingsley Spencer wasn't planning on leaving her workspace. So she thought the best to take care of it was to kill her. So now I knew I had fingerprints of her implicated on the murder. I knew the full name of the killer. Now I just needed to know where she lived, locate the murder weapon, and arrest her. This was quite a quick case, though I will say my detective skills were increasing. I was faster in finding clues. Definitely faster. The first time I ever did go into an office, it took me like 3 hours to move around. This time it only took me 12 minutes. Though it certainly didn't feel like 12 minutes. I see Willow's locker. Could she keep the murder weapon on her own office? Not likely. It was possibly not likely to be here. The murder had just happened a couple of hours behind me, and it didn't seem like people had been here for more than those couple of hours. Even still, I took away the security breach doors so I could exit through the front door, because I was not likely gonna be able to get through the vents. So there we had, this was her workplace. Mrs. Willow. I hope you enjoy working in here, because it was the last time we were gonna do it. Next time. Ooh, perfect. 96.95. Great. I could get into her computer, just make a quick check. Have extra information, because I still needed to know where she lived. And best case to find that it was on the profile of the person. Let's see. There we go. 303 Drummond Heights Hotel. Man, oh man, this case was coming to a close real quickly. Let's see. Just lunch date. She seems to have a significant other. Hopefully not living with her. That was gonna complicate things. They were probably gonna put up a fight if they didn't know the strange tidings their loved ones had with a murder case. Willow class. Let's print whatever information the company had about her. If it was corporate, I was not gonna be surprised that they didn't have much about her. And they didn't, but I did have an upgrade that her working hours. Let's see. She worked as a receptionist from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Oh, wow. Okay. So she was definitely didn't leave the weapon in the locker. She didn't have time for that. She killed her coworker right on the evening of Friday. She probably went straight home. So now, it was time to visit Mrs. Willow. Time to go to Drummond Heights Hotel. I was probably gonna find the weapon in her own house. Not gonna find it in her workplace. Definitely not. She didn't have time to go between the murder and back to work. It would be kinda insane to do that. But now I knew she lived in Drummond Heights Hotel. When I arrived, I've been plenty of times here. Not only to find murders, crime scenes, but also to deliver information about future cases. But now it was time to arrest the murderer. Cold-blooded murderer. Hopefully, she was not home. Although if she was, I had my handy handcuffs. I could just get her, find more information about her, and arrest, take her to finally close the case. Let's see. It was locked. Could I lockpick it? Oh, nope. Definitely there was somebody in the door. Was that her? It was barely early in the morning. Oh, no, she lived with somebody. Evening, can I come in and take a look?
No, sorry.
Do you know this person?
Sure, that's my partner, Willow Clays. Really into music. We are cohabiting right now. They are here right now.
Oh, interesting. Can I take a look around?
I don't think so.
Fine.
I don't want you snooping around my things.
Oh, he was not gonna be taking my bribe?
I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah, he's definitely not gonna take the bribe. And I was not willing to pay that much. So, this was a bit of a predicament. They were both inside, but I was assuming as soon as I tried to handcuff one of them, because knowing she was a killer, he was absolutely obstructing justice right now. Yeah, she lived here. I had two different options. Either go full detective on his ass and handcuffed him and hope for the best that Willow didn't have a gun in her hands immediately and we started a standoff. I still don't have a gun. Or I could leave and continue investigating my other case while I awaited for her to leave her place. I could do that. I still had to even start investigating the infidelity case, which might be a little bit tougher than a crime scene. One, because mostly infidelity is already a very grim thing, very grim situation that people tend to just pass under the rug. So clues were not gonna be that easily available. But I didn't want to risk it right now. One, I was not able to find the courage to just straight up do it right now. But also, I probably just could go discover information about my other case and then come back and see if she was gone from her apartment. Yeah. That was definitely a plan.